bit slow, Richard Wigglesworth is the man. If they want pace and width, the game will revolve around the passing game of the hugely improved Owen Farrell.
Jerome Garces heads an all-French team of officials for the day's second all-English affair. And these two now know they are playing for the right to meet Wasps at the Radetzky Stadium in a couple of weeks' time. Saracens form on this ground in the Champions Cup this season. On all three occasions, they have been runaway winners. Northampton need to stay in this early on. Here's Fotuali'i. His first Champions Cup start of the season with Lee Dixon out injured at Wasps in the Premiership last week. A game that took its toll on the Saints squad.
That was a good kick from Fotuali'i, but more important was the quality of the chase. Saracens' back three will counter, and Northampton will need to kick today. But when they kick, the chase has to be great, or they've got to make sure they get that ball into the stands so Alex Good cannot counter-attack.
Taken by Itoje, one of England's new stars. There's a former England man, Captain Brad Barrett. Current one, Mako Vunukola. Wigglesworth actually led the side in the quarter-final last year. Will Fraser with the carry. Billy Vunukola. Here's Farrell to Brits. Lovely feet from Brits. That's adjudged not to be forward, but it's a turnover for Northampton and Mike Hayward. There goes Christian Day. Nutley. And the flag is out, so that... advantage for... Not going forward pass.
Duncan Taylor down at the moment. One of the most improved players, I think, in the British Isles and Ireland. Superb for Scotland in the Six Nations. What was good for Northampton was that turnover. Even in defeat against Wasps, who we now know are one of the four semi-finalists, they were so good at the turnover. There's the penalty, and you can see Nutley just taken down by a swinging arm from Maro Itoje there. He went nearly 2 games in the Six Nations without conceding a penalty. He's gone 2 minutes here and he's leaked one, and that will be encouraging for Northampton because Saracens have started like sprinters in these pool games. That's a much slower start, and that will suit Northampton.
Stephen Myler finding the touch. It's 5 European quarterfinals for him now, Myler. Top competition. Stolen by the Sarries and Jackson Ray. Always feel one of their unsung heroes, Ray.
Use it!
Chosen in front of Michael Rhodes in that back row today. And then he's come in for George North, Jamie Elliott. This time a penalty.
Away, quickly. Who's the ball?
Discipline not good from Saracens in the early couple of minutes. Another penalty conceded, and that's after Toje and company had redeemed themselves with a super line-out steal. We saw the first of what will be many. Richard Wigglesworth kicked. This guy is so athletic. Doesn't need a lift, does he? He's up and he's very mobile. He gets in front of his man. Northampton will want to attack Saracens at the line-out, but Sarri's there. First blood to them.
And it's a short one to the front. A little rueful look from Hayward. It doesn't work, but it was an interesting try.
just have to get it right, Northampton, the line-out. I think it's an area where they feel they could put some pressure on Saracens. You can see their line-out has been very good in Europe. That driving line-out is one of the reasons they're in the quarter-finals, and they will attack Cruz and Itoje. With Laws moving to 6, they've got 3 real bean poles across the line.
And in the Premiership, these two are the top stealers, 1 and 2. So expect a terrific contest at the line-out today.
Leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it.
Wigglesworth opts not to kick this time. Farrell moves it, goes to Good. It's covered by Ben Foden. Want to show that he shouldn't be out of the international picture. Great opportunity for him. Oh, that's a great line from Farrell. Burst onto that. Barrett was with him. Here's Fraser from Wigglesworth. And then it's Cruz. And there's going to be another penalty here. It was against Hayward. Saracens still playing the advantage. Brits.
No advantage.
If you ever want to see the benefit of having 2 playmakers in your team,
Blue from the side.
here was a classic example. Alex Good took the ball, but Owen Farrell, newfound confidence, picked a majestic line. He's teeing up now for a shot at goal, but between Good and Farrell, they're so aware. Good takes the ball. Farrell now, said your screen. Look how hard he comes, sees the hole there. Great vision from the fly half and a super offload there. First real threat from the midfield there of Saracens. That was brilliant play. Farrell is in such confident form.
Sits at the top of the table with Dan Bigger. Bigger, of course, no longer able to add to his total. Farrell certainly is. He set up the scoring opportunity and then he took it. Owen Farrell, Saracens lead 3-0.
McCall will be happy with events after a couple of early penalties will probably have annoyed him, but that was a lovely play. Farrell and Good combined so well to create the penalty, and he is a deadly finisher. When he's in the mood, those posts look really wide.
Myler restarts. Taken by Taylor over his early knock. Looking to inflict a few is Billy Vunipola. Wigglesworth there, just creating the angle that he wants. It's back with Foden. Chance to counter. Well, there was initially until he met Billy Vunipola. So to Elite, finds Hayward. Here comes Laws wearing 6 and striding away there. Taken on the run by Christian Day. Was alongside Craig in the second row. Laws at blindside today. In for Burrell.
First man,
and here's a chance for Northampton to equalise.
If you move away, you can release the ball, clearly. You don't move away, penalty against you. First tackler.
Taylor there, the man on the bottom, and that's a 3rd penalty conceded by Saracens in 8 minutes. Jerome Garces will not be that patient. Great news for Northampton fans and probably Eddie Jones was to see Courtney Laws playing 6 today, but really stretching his legs there. He's had a difficult season with the emergence of Cruz and Itoje, but he's just reminding people that he is one heck of an athlete, and playing at 4, 5 or 6, he's a threat to any team, and Northampton have a great chance now to level this game. We know that Farrell in big matches kicks his goals. Myler over the years has done a similar job for Northampton. He cannot afford to miss any kicks from this sort of gimme range today if Northampton are to stay in this game.
He's certainly got experience of this stage of the competition. and was involved all those years ago in the one previous European meeting between these two in the Challenge Cup semi-final. 7 years ago now. Myler doesn't show that Farrell-like accuracy with his first kick, and Jim Mallender knows those opportunities today, especially early on, simply have to be taken.
You can't imagine that Saracens are going to be so profligate for so long, and they're going to keep giving penalties, because Northampton at the moment, they've had a shot at goal and they've had a lot of territory gifted to them by penalties.
There's Foden. And Fraser went through on him, and the referee's given the penalty for the challenge from Fraser where the ball landed.
Come down. No, you are late. It's just a penalty, but you are late.
Saracens are being generous.
Right. Just a penalty. It's 4 penalties inside 10 minutes there. And I would hazard a guess that the Saracens management will be livid with that piece of play there from Will Fraser. He was never getting to Ben Foden. He's just saying he's put his arms up, and the right arm has gone out there to connect with him. No doubt at all, that's a penalty. Oh.
I want to put on the big screen.
Referee has caught a glimpse of the replay, and he thinks it might warrant more than just a penalty. Eric Gozan is the television match official.
You watch it from this replay there, it's a penalty.
That I saw.
There's an angle that looks wicked, but he's given him a yellow card. That's a big call.
Fraser takes the walk for 10 minutes. Try score against Bath last week when Saracens in the first half was simply irresistible. Mark McCall, the shake of the head.
I think that is a very harsh call. It is a 100% penalty. I don't think it's much more. Now Myler, what a chance just to get that last miss out of his system. Oh Lord,
it's still in the system.
And worse than that, Miles, it's not just that it's in the system, that is the most awful hoik. I mean, if we see a replay, just keep your eye, viewers, on the flight of the ball. Don't worry looking at the post, watch the ball and nothing else. Look at that, that is a horror. That is not any wind here in Barnet, that is just an awful, nervous kick.
And it was the perfect opportunity for Myler to get back on the horse. Here he is again. Oh, that's nice. As Nutley takes it and goes on. It was Harrison who created the opportunity for Nutley. Great strength, lovely offload as well. Now it's Haywood going wide. Here's a chance for Elliott. Elliott to the corner. Jamie Elliott has done it to Saracens before, and he might have done it again.
I'm not sure about the grounding.
On this ground in a big knockout tie.
Yes, Siobhan.
The grounding is
to try,
the
yes
key
or no,
here,
please?
because
Checking,
Have a
try,
look about
yes
the
and
line
no.
out.
he's away from
Another
touch,
look
I
about the
think.
grounding, please.
Just
Try,
did
yes
he
and no. Checking line
lose
out and
control of the ball?
To Maya Harrison, what a fantastic break to set it up. But you saw a floated pass, it gave Saracens a chance to get across. They'll be disappointed with their tackling. Is there the ground in here? Wigglesworth, nowhere near it. He's dropped it. He has dropped it, no doubt at all. That is a very casual piece of play. It should have been in the left hand, it's in the right. Barrett's got there, but that's an error.
Eric, can you hear me?
Yes, decision.
Eric, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I have a decision.
Yeah, I have a decision. For me, the player never controls the ball. It's a knock on by Blue. Scrum black.
Agree.
If we see that again, absolutely right. But Richard Wigglesworth, who was down and injured, makes no attempt to put the shoulders into the tackle. And I think if you see that again, does that just discombobulate it? Watch Wigglesworth there. Just gone very high. But that is, whatever you think about it, that is a try if George North is on the pitch. That is a try if George North is there. Brilliant from the Kiwi-born 8. Fantastic offload. And you thought the chance had gone once, didn't you, when Nutley didn't give the early ball, but the second chance comes. Ball should have been in the left hand, should have been finished.
Well, fortunately, he thought he was through under the post there when Nutley didn't give. On the challenge from Wigglesworth, and his arms were going out, it was just that Elliott seemed to put the shoulder in as well to see him off, and he certainly did. Although Wigglesworth is okay.
And really now, Saracens have been giving penalties away and they've been giving territory away. Already we have seen Northampton spurn 2 kicks you shouldn't even dream of missing, and a chance. Elliott did brilliantly to make the chance, but he blew it.
And now a chance to complete the clearance. Scrum penalty 1.
Binding and no straight. Bind and no straight. In the opposite side.
Yeah. Wigglesworth to touch, and here's Scott Quinnell on the gain line.
Northampton have started really well. Let's have a look at this. It's all about the pace of the ball, and it's absolutely superb. And not only that, we have a look. Hayward is absolutely flat. These guys, there's too much space between them. Hayward, flat ball, no problem at all. Law's lovely angle, making the break. It's all coming from playing flat, and that quick ball started really well.
They just don't have the points to show for it. Toje. Man of the match against Wales. What a performance that was. Brits.
What a start Brits has made as well in the open play. His feet are fantastic.
Jamie George, of course, out injured. Brits a great man to have. Toje again. And Good has put that out on the full, and by some distance there. Been in such fine form.
Well, I think it's fair to say that Saracens are off colour at the moment. You know, maybe they looked at this Northampton team and saw 4 key starters out this week, 8 out overall, and thought it's just going to happen. Now, that's not the Saracens' way, but sometimes you just get it deep inside you, that belief that you're going to win, and you don't come out flying, and that's happened at the moment. A needless yellow card, stupid penalties, and real inaccuracy from Saracens. It should be bringing Northampton into this game.
Toje so close to winning that, but it's Alex Wallop who rediscovers the ball for Northampton. Look at the effort on that drive. Nutley. And Waller to Hayward just. Wigglesworth gets a boot on this. There goes Myler. Here's Foden. Foto Elite and numbers here on this side for Northampton. Myler's seen it. Day to Harrison. Harrison, now this should be a score because Peace is on the outside and Ken Peace is in. At last Northampton break their duck. Threatening with the Myler kicks. Threatening with the Elliott chance. But now Ken Peace with the points that the Saints thoroughly deserve.
Well, the only number 8 we've been talking about at this stadium all year has been Billy Vunipola. But this time it's the other man, Harrison, who's made a spectacular start to this game. You can see Toje almost gets there, but what's key is what happens from this broken field. And the number 8, he does Vunipola for pace. Ball goes to the 8 now. Billy Vunipola is just left for dead. He stands infield just to draw Alex Good. Technically, that's really good. If you were a centre, that is exactly the line you would have run. If you're Billy Vunipola, you'll be slightly embarrassed there, because Harrison, who's had such a fine season for Northampton, has blown him away on the outside, and then he's just straightened up the full-back. Brilliant play from Northampton's number 8, and they do deserve it.
And number 8 today, he's worn different numbers this season, 6, 7 and 8, and that is making sure that the chance is not wasted. Timana Harrison to Kempisi. And that's better from Myler. Northampton have their lead.
Will that be the wake-up call for Saracens, the overwhelming favourites? Brilliant play here. You can see it from that reverse angle. Superb running lines from Harrison. Good pace to get outside Billy Vunipola. Saracens need a shake-up. It's been a very, very out-of-form first 20 minutes.
Well, that could bounce anywhere, and Brits might be onto this. Back goes Foto Eliti. Then Brits lost control, the referee saw it.
He's electric, isn't he? Sharp Brit. It's not great work from Northampton. It's a good hanging kick. Plenty of time for the chasers to come, but that's a horrible tap back. The control's not there, and Brit is almost through, but there you see the knock on, and Jerome Gar says certainly did. Day stretching for the ball. Craig stretching for that ball there. Elliott comes up, all at sea there. First scrum, Northampton were hammered at the scrum by Ross last week, but most of the season they've been a strong scrum. Big part of this game.
Harrison's going early, and he's going powerfully as well. He's looking for Farrell. He's seen off him, and Ashton too. Wow, what a start from Timana Harrison. All the talk going into this, and it came to the number 8, Billy Vunipola. Play on, says the referee. It was good, took a tumble there. That was Barrett. This is Wigglesworth. Right, to Brits. And the penalty. That's the halfway line.
Chance for Saracens just to settle their game here. Farrell to nail this ball down near the corner and get their driving game going.
Ask the TMO to check. He checked and he said it's fine.
What a start from Timana Harrison. All these internationals, the English Grand Slam players, and it's been the unheralded New Zealander. Well, not unheralded in Northampton, but he has dominated this first 20 minutes. A bit of a shove coming on from the Saracens scrum. Clever from Khan Foto Eliti. He makes sure Wigglesworth can't get anywhere near the 8, but when he gets a bit of space, he's very powerful. Farrell loves a challenge, but he just smashes him off. Out of my way. Farrell going for 3. Just signs, Miles, I think, that Saracens know that they're a little bit rattled and they want some points just to get going again. Normally, they go into the corner. Now, they're going for the points.
And they get the points with something to spare as well. Brian Farrell there. There's a terrific kick, as we've come to expect.
So it's 15v15 and Saracens with a 1-point deficit. It has been a good first 20 for Northampton though. Saracens have not come out fast. They've been anything but.
And Taylor was that already out? No, it wasn't. The assistant on that far side indicates.
And again, this is going to infuriate Saracens managing. They've just given a fantastic field position away there, Duncan Taylor.
Let's go down to Graham with Alex Sanderson.
From the side, collapse.
Oh, Philip! Oh, Philip!
It's an interesting call, isn't it? Farrell went for the 3 points. Northampton probably feeling this is their moment to try and get ahead in the game. Have gone for the corner where they do have a great driving game. Of course, it helps the decision. Myler's missed a couple of kicks, but this is a big call.
And Laws can't take it cleanly. It was a big call, certainly in a knockout game with the scoreboard so tight. And now Northampton will regret it.
But it's been such a weapon for them. I mean, Northampton's form through the pool stages was anything but convincing. But when they got within 5-10 metres of the line, you think back to those Scarlet games, they just turned the screw and wrestled the game away from them. But Hayward's gone long and Laws hasn't held it, and that's a bit of a let-off for Saracens.
And it's also the mindset they're in. They've come here to give it a go and play. Had a troublesome week. Heard Jim Mallender saying before kick-off how he didn't really know the team until yesterday lunchtime. It was finalised because of all the ifs and buts.
Yeah, I don't think they can win this incrementally, so they're going for it, and that's probably the right decision.
That is a good reply from Billy Vunipola, having seen what Harrison has just done. Wigglesworth making sure of a touch on that occasion. Richard Wigglesworth returned after that finger injury in March. As I said earlier, captain in the quarter-final in Paris last season, which was won by a kick right at the death by Marcelo Bosch.
A couple of instances of Saracens being Saracens. Billy Vunipola, which he's done all season for club and country, over the gain line. Wigglesworth unfussily getting 30-40 metres downfield, just trying to get their patterns going.
Had a quarter-final already, won today by kick right at the death. Jimmy Gopperth, these two now know that it's Wasps who lie in wait in Reading. This is what Northampton wanted to do, closer to the Saracens line, when they opted for the touch and not the kick to the post. See how effective they can be. Oh, Jamie Elliott and Farrell right in there again. Law stopped by Mako Vunipola. Myler. Try scorer Ken Pesey chases, but there is time for Alex Good. There normally is. He plays as if he's got a lot of it. Foden. Vunipola's catch to Chris Ashton, former Northampton man, of course.
Sign the Saracens are just not on their game at the moment. Ashton slices that kick. What they're trying to do is just trying to establish a little bit of territorial control. They're getting none at all. It's all been Northampton, and it's all been about this man at number 8. Maya Harrison, absolutely superb there. I must say, there's a question mark about that pass off the left hand. I thought when I saw it, but I don't know. Did it cross your mind in just the slightest, Mars?
It did in live play. Anyway, maybe more on that in a moment. Here's Scotty.
Yeah, I'd give a little eye on Wigglesworth. He works really, really hard. But when we roll it on, great. It's the pace of the ball again. Here we go. The big guys, they get caught going into the ruck, and then we have a look. It's all about width. Look at these guys coming back. They're coming back. They're looking at width, and then they're going to get exploited. Look, Wigglesworth's worked really, really hard to get out there, but then it's just numbers. Superb try.
I think it was okay, just looking at it again, that pass. There's Harrison once more. Comes Day and Myler. Out to Ken Peacey from George. And there's a little pullback as the Peacey brothers went through. It was George who was impeded, I think.
Northampton are getting a huge benefit out of these little over the top of the shoulder drive. And again, Myler not confident with his goal kicking, aware that Northampton need to strike while the fire is extremely hot, have to go for more than 3 points. Duncan Taylor pulls his man back. Another day, another age. Keep your eye out for number 13. That could have been a yellow card. Cynical, off the ball, attacking position, could easily have been yellow.
So it's 13 on 13 there. Taylor on George Peacey. Nice safe one to the front from Hayward this time. But great disruption there from Saracens, and Cruz really like that. They will press the buttons for forwards. They work on that so hard during the week to create exactly that sort of outcome on match day.
They're just trying to get themselves going up front, aren't they? Northampton's line-out has not been a strength of their game so far. It's been a real weakness. It was an area where they thought they could trouble Saracens. At the moment, it's one of the few areas where Saracens have actually been the better team, and Cruz was pumped. You could see a Toje there. They're really trying to instigate something and get themselves going.
Bye. Stay.
Scrum does come down.
Back. No, back. Nine blue.
And the referee deems illegally. Here's Farrell.
Alex, first penalty against your boys in the scrum. They conceded 8 against Wasps. They've been so good this season. This week, what will Dorian West have been doing to make sure this penalty count is cut? And can they really change it in a week?
They had the advantage there and they look to maximise it now. Farrell a little bit conservative with the touch fine. Again, maybe reflecting the current mindset. Saracens suddenly feel like they're in a game, and Elliott is starting to rip it up down that flank. Foto Elite. Referee's going to give the penalty. Harrison again. No holes barred there. Off the floor from Craig. Myler, advantage will run out. But Jamie Elliott there. And your point about the finish and the comparison to George North, perfectly fair one, but North himself would have been delighted with that run.
Oh, he's got electric shoes. He really can shift. It's a pity, though, as a winger, his first job is to finish, but that was brilliant. And this time, Myler is going for post. Saracens, I can't remember them missing so many tackles watching them play here for a long, long time. You know, they've got a line up there and it just, boom, little change of pace. There's not that big a gap, and he's just burned off Farrell for pace. He's inside, he's always looking for support. They're working so hard to get men alongside the runners as well. The support is very good from Northampton.
Elliott was flying there. Terrific work. Now can Myler get the points to show for it? Really is a case thus far of beware the written-off team in sport.
Yeah, indeed.
Very dangerous animal, but Myler needs to grab these 3 points, and he does. And Northampton have a 4-point advantage. They will feel they should have more.
Well, you would say they've been the better team. Saracens have been a poor team. Saracens are giving opportunities away. I think Saracens are probably quite pleased they're only 4 points down, and Northampton, they'll be delighted with the way the first half hour has gone, but they will want to press this current advantage home.
Foden as captain takes the lead there. Nutley. First senior game of the season. Ben Nutley played for the A-team on Monday night. A couple of tries, I think. He led that side as well, and he has been thrust into this Champions Cup quarter-final. No Tom Wood out with a shoulder injury. Sam Dickinson got that knee injury last week. Jamie Gibson already out, ankle. Callum Clark, of course, long-term. John Fisher's broken his arm, and that's why Nutley has this opportunity, and he is seizing it.
All 15 are in Northampton are playing some fantastic stuff at the moment. Clearly the better team. Saracens, when are they going to wake up?
Maybe now. Barrett to Taylor. Wigglesworth. Little Vanapola. It's Luther Burrell trying to stop him. Jackson Ray. And there is Nutley all over Wigglesworth. He made the challenge, released, and got back on him. Top turnover for Northampton. Haywood looks to go. And it was the work of Nutley. Christian Day. He sets it back for Fotuali'i. Mentioned the back row absentees. No Hartley, of course, or Brooks in the front row. There's the man who's in for Kieran Brooks. Sometimes these days it's vice versa. Paul Hill. It's a great contest at club and international level between those two. Farrell finds Kempisi. Here's Foden. Who's going to win this exchange? Kempisi trying to get there. Silky from Alex Good. Brits. Wigglesworth. Is this Saracens' moment? When they get themselves going. Itoje. Really would be typical of Saracens to go in at half-time in front, despite all that's happened. Brits to Taylor. Taylor trying to get his head down. That's gone forward, so the crowd will now realise that the whistle has gone and Fraser is pulled back. It was forward, no doubt about that. We were in line with that one. Happy to make that call straight away, as was the referee.
Well, it was Will Fraser, the man deprived because of that forward pass, and that sort of sums up the game. We came into the match talking about the Saracens back row, but Scotty, from where I am up in the stand, there's only one back row in this game, and it is not Saracens at the moment.
Tomato Harrison, I think he's been outstanding. When you look at the way that they're trying to play, still they played quite a high tempo game. When they go to the contact area, if they can't win it, then they just fan out. But when they do go, they get over the top of the ball. A couple of turnovers, which I may have a look at half time. But they're utilising space well. They've been absolutely brilliant. They're playing on top of the ground. It's a quick surface here, and they're utilising that surface. There's a reason why maybe they've won 3 out of 4 down here at Allianz Park, is because they like this type of surface to play rugby on.
Interesting here from Saracens. They went for a penalty just inside their own half, which Farrell landed, but this time They go for territory. They are going for the lead before half-time, and the psychological implications of that.
Yeah, absolutely, Miles, you know, because the kick that Farrell landed was inside his own half, and it was 10 metres nearer the touchline. It was an infinitely harder kick, and this time he's just pushed it down to the 22. They've got to get this crowd going as well. They've been fairly quiet at the moment.
And the forwards get themselves going here, joined now by a back in Brad Barrett and captain Brits. Just about stays attached, his Wigglesworth. Of course, no centre in Barrett now, but Ashton can compensate for that coming off the wing. Here's Billy Vunipola, lost in the tackle. Mike Haywood falls on it. Fotuali'i to Myler, does the sensible thing. Just wasn't the space, and was explaining that to his half-back partner, I'm sure. Jim Nallender, not betraying any emotion, but inside he'll be pretty content, but maybe frustrated too, the fact that his side do not have a bigger lead.
Yeah. On the flip side of that, I'm wondering how big the Saracens changing room is. It's going to need to be fairly big, because there's going to be some rockets flying around in half-time. Not on their game at all. So many errors. It's excellent from Northampton, but McCall's men just have not switched on to this quarter-final European Cup match at all yet.
Well, they've ripped apart everybody in the pool here. And now Taylor's dropped it. Players that are at the top of their game. Duncan Taylor, a perfect example of that. A nominee for Six Nations Player of the Tournament. He played that well in Scotland colours, and he got that position because of how well he was playing for Saracens. This is most unusual.
But that was actually beautiful play there from Saracens. The build-up was fantastic. But throughout the season, Taylor's been holding on to it. He's been giving little inside balls to the likes of Wiles or Ransom or Good, and it's been sticking. Not at the moment.
Scored 32 here against Toulouse at the start of their pool, 55 Oyonnax, and 33 they put on Ulster.
And when you think of their performances when they left here as well, Marsden, and they went on the road, they were by a distance the best team in Europe at pool stage. They're a confident team. They know how to win. Well, they know how to beat English teams, current defending champions of England, but it just hasn't happened. It's not nerves. I just think they're not quite mentally at the right place.
Still a lot of time to sort it out, and also half-time as well, to have a proper talk.
That was ominous for Northampton. There haven't been many scrums, but that was a big one from Saracens.
I'm sure Alex will make reference to that. Let's call this here at half-time.
Can't Fotuali'i, is he a scrum half or a referee?
Well, he's wearing 9, so they're normally both. These two protect the ball. You can understand why he'd have one eye on the clock. It's got to be a using call, then it should be within 5 seconds, and so often isn't. Here's Good. Haywood, he's got about in this first half as well. And he'll now scrum down for the possibly final time in this half.
Throughout this first half, Northampton have wanted it more. They've been spikier, they've been edgier, they've had better of it at the breakdown, they've been more dangerous on the counter-attack. It has been a very sloppy 40 minutes from Saracens, and if they go in 4 points down, they'll probably be feeling quite pleased with that. Northampton, much the better team in the first half. The pressure is on the team expected to win. Northampton, they're playing with some freedom, and they're playing really well.
How they play the ball? No, this is before they played it. It's what I saw.
Well, he started the Premiership final a couple of years ago, so he has had big starts before, but there's no doubt, had he been fit and okay following his concussion in Paris, Dylan Hartley, England captain, would have been the starting two.
It's fine.
Well, this will be interesting whether Northampton decide to try and get it off the field and away from home and have a lead, or do they just keep playing?
What they could do with a really quick strike looking, but I don't think Mikey Hayward at the moment's lifted his foot, because I think there's just a little bit of pressure coming through. What they've got to make sure they do is not concede a penalty at this scrum. They're missing Brooks, they're missing Hartley in that scrum.
And it is Wigglesworth who pounces on it. Northampton might not have a say.
It's a poor decision from Wigglesworth to had to keep that in hand.
Now Fotoli, he will get it off if he can get it back. It's done. Northampton are safe in this first period. They had to get back quickly there. Wigglesworth, as you say, possibly the wrong call. There it goes. And Northampton, who've lost their last 2 matches on the road in the Premiership, well, they're certainly not losing here. In front by 10 points to 6, and it could have been more. And the one try of the first half, scored by Kempisi. Not quite the deficit for Saracens today, but they'll need a recovery, and that man is on, Neil de Kock, who is on for Richard Wigglesworth, mentioned earlier, captain for Saracens in last season's quarter-final in France for them in Paris, while de Kock goes all the way back to their first European quarter-final, and that run in 2008. And the last time that Saracens lost a quarter-final in this competition, they were at home to Clermont, and they were taught a lesson that day, if you remember, at Vicarage Road. And we're hearing that de Kock is on for Wigglesworth as a tactical replacement. It's not an injury. That goes Elliott. Oh, look at the bounce on that. Foden's got to try and deal with this. And in fact, it falls in the end to Elliott. Knock forward has been called. That could have gone horribly wrong for Northampton and Foden.
And Neil de Kock's an interesting call, tactical, and I understand it. Wigglesworth is very much, as I said before the game, he's a kicker and a controller and a thinker. De Kock, very sharp mind, but when he comes on, he ups the ante, and there's been a sense that the fuse just hasn't been burning with Saracens at the moment. And he'll come on and he'll try and bring runners around him. We've seen very little in terms of players like Makavunapola carrying nothing in the way of offloading. He'll try and accelerate the way they're playing this game, up the tempo.
Foden wants to try and stay on. He knows another injury here for his side in all his experience. This is all being set up for Alex Corbisiero to come in and have a chat. What are you seeing here? Yeah, it's good ball as well, isn't it? Trying to create the shape to offer something down the blind side as well. Now it's up the middle from Brits and de Kock to Petrus Duplessis, and the tight head was on a roll there. Out from de Kock, and now it's with Ashton. There's a lot of space suddenly, and Taylor puts it down. What a start for Saracens to the second half.
I think there might be a check, Miles.
Yeah, I just wonder. It is.
TMO for a block.
Eric?
Yes, Jerome.
When Ashton's carrying.
I want to check probably obstruction by Black. Can you have a look, please? Where is the player? In front or behind the player who passed the ball?
Yes, it seemed to open up for Ashton, didn't it? Almost unnaturally. Let's see.
Stop. Back, please.
Well, it's for Fraser. Carried it into...
Go ahead. Player is in the back.
He's
but they initiate the Back, please.
It's behind him when the pass is given.
Again.
It certainly stops Burrell in his tracks, doesn't he? But does Burrell go looking for him? It's such a hard call.
One more angle. It's such a big call too.
Defenders more and more, when they're out of position, will say, I'm in trouble. Boom, take it. But I don't think you can say Will Fraser has to be impacting upon the drift of
Jérôme, I have a decision.
Yeah. Just wait. I want to have a chat with Mathieu. Mathieu, for me, the black player initiate the contact with the blue player, so it will be an obstruction by black. Okay. Eric, there is an obstruction by the black who initiate the contact with the defender, so it will be a penalty against black.
I agree.
It's interesting there as well that referee Garces turned to Mathieu Renard, his assistant, who's of course an international official as well, and drew on that experience. Obstruction the call, no try. Will Greenwood.
The black player initiate the contact with the defender.
And Burrell is not the kind of man to shirk a tackle.
Will Fraser's ill discipline is proving costly. Absolutely. Every time you watch that, you just think, yep, he knows what he's doing there. Burrell is taken out of his line there. Whether he can get there or not, I don't think Garces could do anything other than penalise the Saracens' open side.
One black, one on top.
So there have been moments that have got away now for both sides when it comes to try scoring. Elliott in the first half and Saracens there.
Away, number 4.
Okay.
And Taylor denied. You sense it was a very important moment as well when it comes to the discussion of momentum and what it would have given Saracens at the start of this second half. It surely would have been part of the Northampton discussion. Do not give them an inch in the first 10 minutes or so. Ashton had more than that, but he was...
Sorry, Miles, I'm going to say the first 17 minutes, this is where Saracens really come out with their power play. Third quarter is one of the strongest parts of their game. You can see there they score a lot more tries than anyone. It's a time, well, they started fast, but the penalty stopped them. They will look to accelerate here and get back into this game.
Just to finish that point on Ashton, I think it was pretty clear that it was illegal work. And Barrett will have been encouraged by the creation of the chance. Because for long spells, nearly the whole of the first period, Saracens didn't look like doing anything.
Didn't look as if, well, they weren't in the 22 miles, were they? Again, brilliant turnover work. Northampton are just gobbling up the ball on the floor.
Poor Hill with that turnover. And Harrison was with him. Harrison's been everywhere. There he is again. Talk about rising to the challenge in the absence of some illustrious names. Through Saracens go through on the wrong side and offside.
No, go back.
Well, if there was a rocket at half-time in the changing room, it hasn't propelled them to greater feats so far. They did have that one chance, but Will Fraser's given a stupid penalty away that's cost a try. Billy Vunipola's arguing with the referee. That's not going to help after a soft penalty. Very frustrated home team here. And here you can see Paul Hill. Great technique there. That is wonderful. Mako Vunipola beaten by the Northampton tighthead there. Brilliant technique.
Fellow England squad man. Got his cap in Italy. First of many. Here's Harrison. It looks like on this evidence, on his season's form actually, that he could certainly great an international stage. He's absolutely on fire today and looking for more and more work. Insatiable appetite he's got. Photo Ali'i. That one skips on. Ashton has to deal with this. And that is going to fall to Laws.
That was a shocking kick from Chris Ashton.
Photo Ali'i again. Myler. Oh, Day wants it. The big man trying to eat up the ground, but so too Alex Good now, chasing his own kick. Try scorer Ken Pesey.
Well, someone has to steady the Saracens ship, and in the end it's Alex Good there. It wasn't a very good kick from Ashton. It was not a very good one either from Myler, but Alex Good's positional play superb. He had the option there, Chris Ashton. Decided to kick himself, hooked it horribly in field, but with Stephen Myler's kick into the corner, Good just threaded that ball 60 metres. Will, on the touchline, how are you seeing this?
And as Will was talking there, Ben Foden has been forced off. Captain's gone, and young Harry Mallender, son of Jim, comes on. The man who made such an impact towards the end of the pool stages with man of the match performances against Glasgow and the Scarlets. Stephen Myler takes over as the captain of the side.
Superb at centre, Mallender. He's going to be tested at full-back.
Saracens full-back Good has given it away to Nutley. Said that Harrison was everywhere, so too Nutley. And here is a first touch for Mallender. We know he can boot it. Swallowed by Good, who looks to use the elements. And Photo Ali'i will have to make a good effort here. And it's not quite Carlos Spencer,
No real
Northampton favourite.
No real angle there, though, and that's a brilliant kick. Alex Good has just decided, with the wind behind him, let's not mess around too much. We saw a lovely kick from the other side of the field. He's hit that one a low, flat trajectory there. He's put Photo Ali'i under real pressure there. The chase comes, and it's Good himself along with Wiles, and as you say, that ain't no Carlos.
Taken by George Cruz. Cleared of biting this week. Came to nothing. Billy Vunipola. Another one of those nominated for Six Nations Player of the Tournament. And there he goes. Came off Day's boot, and that's worked very nicely for the Saints. Photo Ali'i is going to do it himself. Yes, he is. And that time he was set. Advances a little bit up the touchline, but the pressure's still on.
Well, I've been watching Saracens in Europe. They've scored more tries than they've made unforced errors. Today, there's just error after error there, and they're very frustrated at the moment. There's huge credit to Northampton, who are just so committed at the breakdown. Hayward's not going to stop him, but he slowed him down, and that's the key. Photo Ali'i's in. Harrison's in, and you can see there as Petrus Duplessis comes just a little bit slow, and the ball has gone. Half of the 20-minute power play time, Saracens are so good, has gone, and nothing on the board so far.
And over the whole of the piece, in every game, 26 tries in the tournament before the knockout stages. Top of that table as well, the number one seeds. Are they going to face the curse of the 100%ers? The side that's gone into the quarterfinals with 6 wins has never gone on to win the tournament. But Saracens still have time here. They have an attack and an opportunity. That's lovely from Prince to Farrell. And then Fraser. He's not been at his best today, but to say there is time for this to be turned around. And it might be nigh here as Barrett goes forward. It's at least a penalty. Here's Ashton. It will stay as a penalty.
Speculation with a capital S from Chris Ashton. What do Saracens do? They're 10-6 down and they're bang in front of post. I think it goes 3 points, 10-9. Eke your way back into this game. We'll be on the stage of Flash Rugby. We're now in the realms of trying to win a cup game and get through to the semi-final, and Farrell doesn't miss kicks like this. Just so powerful, so strong. The gain line has really been difficult for Saracens to breach, as Owen Farrell, no fuss, takes 3 points.
It was a guaranteed 3 points, we all knew that. And Michael Rhodes is about to join the action. And he's on for the man who got his place, Jackson Ray. Michael Vunipola has lost for the umpteenth time in his career the contact lens.
It wouldn't be a Saracens game if Mako didn't lose his lens.
Myler's restart to Wiles. Hardly mentioned the American international. Going to mention him here again, though. And that goes off the outside of the boots.
Great response from Northampton. Just leaked 3 points. And the chase down on Farrell was a very good one. Wiles threw that ball in field. He's shaking his head. Owen Farrell was charged down, and then Wiles couldn't do anything with him. It's about the quality of the chase, though. It's immediately, let's get this ball off the park. 3 men are coming in on him, and Ben Nutley, the number 7, on the floor, in Owen Farrell's face. He's had a corker of a game.
The Saracens never lost on this ground in the Champions Cup. Goes to James Craig. If Northampton are to seal this deal, these are the openings they have to take and leave Saracens territory with points. It's too tight now, too slender. That was Hill. Fotuali'i gets them all lined up. They're ever willing today, doesn't need to worry about that. Just wants them in the right positions. Here's Haywood. A prime example of the supreme effort being put in by an injury hit Northampton. Nutley. Can they create it here? He wants the penalty, Fotuali'i. Here's Myler, the man who'd take it, but it's going across towards Elliott and still might, as Good can't take it cleanly. Fraser again.
First of all, you never start on your feet. And after he blocked.
He could be red card.
He blocked the player, so it's a penalty.
I don't think Jerome Garces realises how many times he's penalised him.
To protect the support by blue. Yeah.
He's a good player, Fraser, but he's having a bit of a nightmare today. Nutley lower to the ground is outplaying him. Never released the tackle was the view. I think Fraser would think that's a tough call.
So if this goes over, it's as you were at half-time. Just wonder what's going through the mind. He's had a shocker today with one of his kicks. But he's too good for that. Indeed he is. Scotty.
Here we go, we're going to have a look at Mike Hayward. There he is. He doesn't panic. They're not panicking. They've got 10 metres, Saracens. Good line of drive, one of the most destructive runners in world rugby. Find a Paula at the moment. He knows he's going to come. He knows he's going to come. He just stays there, doesn't get pulled in, makes a tackle, turnover.
And Malander looks to use that big boot of his when he found an angle.
Well, now we're going to find out how good a team Saracens are. We know when things are going well, when they've got their A game together, they have been unstoppable in Europe this season. But there always comes a time when even the best teams have a bad day. And let's not kid ourselves, Saracens for the first 55 minutes have had a shocking game. They have to be mentally strong and technically good enough and smart enough to pull themselves through that, because Northampton are not going away.
Again, it wasn't clean at the line out through the hands of Rhodes. Vunipola stopped in his tracks. Does well, though, to get on the outside of Waller. Itoje. De Kock. Farrell. Percentage play.
It's not a bad idea being pragmatic when the inspirational stuff has just dried up as it has for the first hour or so in this game. You know, Northampton now are in a situation where they've got to realise they can think we're going to win this game, and that will put a different sort of pressure on the Saints to anything they'll have faced in the first 57 minutes or so. Mike Hayward will face the sort of pressure he rarely faces, unlike Dylan Hartley.
Much more of the game now inside the Northampton half.
Yeah, and definitely Saracens need to get the ball down there, and they need to put a squeeze on Northampton. They haven't got that big Saracen squeeze at all going today.
So nearly another steal.
Outside! Outside!
He's excellent, isn't he, Itoje? Just springing up there. He did his part, but it was really tough for Neil de Kock to do anything with that ball. Carl Foduli sort of saying we didn't really get any advantage there. Left hand goes up. He's got himself in front of Christian Day, not for the first time. But that's spiked down, almost volleyball at the feet of Neil de Kock. Very little the Kentonian could do with that.
Phil Fotoli had a point there.
Yeah, I think so.
Just a bit hemmed in here, and Farrell creates some space for Ashton, and then to good. And it all goes wrong again for the home side.
How many times before injury have we seen Chris Ashton pick that line? I'm not certain whether Ken Pesey doesn't get the merest fingertip to that ball. Might be wrong, might be imagining it, but I just thought that ball took a slight deflection when Ashton throws the pass. Farrell first of all. He does. It's the left hand. You see that left hand of Pesey takes it away from the flight path of Good. And that, I think, stops a try. He's got every entitlement to do that. There, if he doesn't get his hand to that ball, Good takes that, and it's a score. I think you'll see there. That's the difference, because Alex Good has got that ball on the flight line, hasn't he? He's watching it, and suddenly it just shifts direction, and that's the safe salvation for the Saints.
Oh, the agony on the face of Good. Look at that coming on from the Saracen scrum. Referee Garces has to respond, and does. Saracens gave him no option.
Comes a time when you just got to say, let's stop being cold and pragmatic about this and start getting desperate. We're meant to be winning this game. We're meant to be the favourites for the European Cup. And we're not playing well, so let's just panic a bit, get some adrenaline going, smash Northampton in the scrum. And that is exactly what they do. They get a big surge on there.
Go, please.
And they're going for 3 points. Victor Matfield.
127 caps for South Africa. Now that is experience.
Pressure's not going to get to Big Vic, is it?
Farrell's the man. Always is. Let's go down to Grant.
Alex, do you sense your team have finally started to get the bit between their teeth here?
Yeah, I think the wind has changed quite literally and metaphorically speaking. It's now going down the field left to right, you see it at home, and we've just got the upper hand in the set piece, we think, in the scrum time, and we've had a lot of possessions because the wind's changed deep in Northampton's territory, and that's where we want to stay, deep in their half, keep the pressure on them. It's a 1 point game now, we need to make it in our favour.
In the absence of inspiration, organisation is going to win this for you, is it?
It's always about inspiration, energy and motivation, to keep the energy alive despite all the setbacks that we've had on the penalties we're giving away. All we talked about at half time was keeping the energy up, making sure we get off the ground quicker, make those tackles a little bit harder, and the rest will fall into place.
Right, Alex, thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah.
There's going to be some finish, we know that.
20.
Problem sometimes when you get off the ground fast and you're full of energy and you're full of commitment, you look up and the other team are doing it just as much as you are, and you do need a little bit more. You do need that inspiration that's missing, because Northampton are going toe to toe physically and mentally with the favourites.
Keep the line, please.
Alex Waller, who got the try right at the end of extra time in the Premiership final, famous one between these two. He's replaced by that man, Kampizi Ma'afu, brother of Selesi, the Australian international. Kampizi, of course, Fijian international, and Northampton's new favourite member of that family.
Use it now, use it! Use it now! Use it!
Referee almost getting in the way of Harrison there. And he's not taking prisoners today.
Now the ball is here. Back number four, back.
Scoring chances there have just dried up for the Saints. Newman Ma'afu, Fotuali'i. Saracens there. Organisation in defence, legendary. Itoje stopping Fotuali'i doing what he wanted to do,
And stopping himself, giving a penalty away. That was cute for a young man.
There's big James Craig, and Saracens know that's a moral victory. They've pushed Northampton right back and get the penalty at the end of it all, and Farrell's not hanging around here. Good kick, not just where he gets the ball, but also the tempo it gives to his side.
Didn't do anything with the ball there, Saracens, but the way Itoje could have given the penalty away and he didn't, the way Farrell came surging through to make the tackle, the speed with which he hit that kick and the length he hit it, it's almost like Saracens now have tried to press the button. They're nowhere near overdrive, but the line-out's going well, and they're on the 22.
This time Northampton don't challenge, fearing the drive coming on. Neil de Kock, Wiles off the wing, Farrell. Oh, it's behind Taylor. Good, in trouble here.
distribution's been brilliant all season. That was a terrible pass from Owen Farrell.
Still might work though for Saracens because Billy Bonapola's got it. The cock, it's a good line from Brits. Nice and flat as well. Here's Farrell. Petrus Duplessis, Courtney Laws on Farrell. We've seen that before.
The tackler is fine here.
Barrett, good hands. Taylor too. Here's Wiles. Equal top try scorer in the competition. Back to Barrett. It's building here. And Northampton a man down.
Flickering now.
Here's Farrell. Back with good. Floats it. Ashton. Chris Ashton inside. Great work by George PC. All of this, Northampton have an injured player on the far side, so I can't tell you it is at the moment.
PC down as well. They're 13 men at the moment.
Yeah, this needs to go off the field. And it's turning back in from Mallander's kick. That was a touch. Find if ever there had to be one. Good. Loves it when it breaks up. Ashton. Barrett. Out it goes to Rhodes. Yeah, it's Mahafu who gets up off the floor over there, but he's not the injured player. I think the referee and the medical staff, I don't think they're very happy the fact all this was happening around them. They feel the whistle should have gone.
Well, the whistle should have gone before Saracens got so close to the injured man, and then Saracens have probably agreed because it's gone 10 metres past, and they're thinking, hey, he's out the back now, we're in attack.
I promise you. Good light tackle.
I fought the laws and the laws won. Owen Farrell's a tough man, but when you clash with Courtney Laws, you're going to come off second best. He's had a really good game today. It's been a difficult season for Laws, but that is when he levels himself. If he's late, it's the splittest second. You can't pig him. And Ashton, the inside ball, and PC hits him, and I don't think that is anything like a legitimate challenge. Well, it's not a legitimate challenge. And there is a very strange referee in allowing that to go on.
Mahafu nearly falling on his own player. His own player, by the way, on the floor on the far side. There's George PC. It's Ben Nutley.
You go back there, Miles. The man with the bag who's sprinted off the pitch. There was a lovely moment where just the Northampton bagmen, they looked up the physios and said, what the hell are you doing? The arm went up in the air. I mean, it's, I think, a degree of fear, but a degree of despair at that decision to keep playing.
Well, it's good to see Nutley up and about, but from Northampton's point of view, the way he's played...
Oh, look at that, Miles.
It's not great to see him go, but it could have been a whole lot worse, as that replay proves. Michael Patterson will come on. He's not a natural open side.
And let's just say, start for Ben Nutley this season, and what a magnificent performance he has put together. Along with Harrison, Teimana, he has been at the heart of everything that Northampton has done. He's been fantastic.
Harrison, of course, can move to the flank, and he's done exactly that with Patterson, who is fairly flexible himself, second row, back row. He's going in at 8, and Laws on the blind side, where he started the game. Dylan Hartley there, England skipper.
Bigger burden now for Harrison. See his team through here. Saracens are coming for this one, they fancy it.
And they're right on top of the scrum as well, and here's Barrett. Barrett through the first man! Harrison with the tackle, and then he's in danger of giving the penalty away. Referee opens out the arms. Did he release? Yes, says Jerome Garces. Here's Barrett again. Once more, he slips away from that first tackler. And it's giving Saracens a great chance to get across the gain line. What about the try line? De Kock. Here comes Mako
Trying to play with more patience now.
Out to Farrell. and good, and there's Ashton! He's splashing again! Saracens, who proved themselves to be England's finest, looking to do the same in Europe. Going into this match as hot favourites for this tie, and many people's favourites for the title itself. Well, there they did look at their imperious best, and Ashton soars in once more.
Barrett makes the initial burst, punches his way over the gain line. The forwards roll is attended, just keep on punching, and this time Ashton, look at him, right to left. That is a sensational line. He's going flat out. He's come from so late, and because he's so deep, there's a hole, because his man has not been able to keep up with him. A quite wonderful finish from Ashton, the arch tracker, the tracker of English rugby.
Well, before he had space created for him because of the obstruction, not that time. He reads space so well, and with this man in the team too, Owen Farrell, of that kicking team, you can see exactly why.
Look at Ashton there,
even though Saracens spluttered in the first half, why they are such a fancied side.
Yeah, Billy Vunipola ran a really nice decoy line. When you've got a giant like him who's such a threat, he comes from out to in. One man is held. Ashton's coming so fast, all it takes is a split second of someone disorganised, and that's your result. 7 points.
Not quite finished, but it would be if Saracens got another score. Denman's come off the hill in the Northampton front row. Here's Malander. Second bounce was a little kinder to him, needed to be. Elliott. And Tom Kessel, wearing 21, is the replacement for Khan Fotuali'i. Only Dixon in the squad, of course, because of that another head knock last week against Wasps.
Just looking at Toje there as the knock-on's given. He is back slapping everyone. Do you think that bloke likes winning? Unbelievable energy. But I think that also, on the subject of energy, with Ashton, that score, what that does, that gives Saracens a much-needed burst of adrenaline in the last 10, and Northampton just get a little bit leaden. There you can see he's there with some of the finest. Vincent Clerc of Toulouse, Brian O'Driscoll. Ashton closing in on the great Irishman. I think we see that try again. I'm pretty certain it was Vunipola comes from left to right. Tight angle here. Number 8, bang, just holds his man a second. Hayward's on the outside as well, and suddenly you've got a front row forward 1-to-1 with Chris Ashton. You've got a mismatch, you've got to try.
And Good's contribution as well should not be underestimated. There he was on the celebration. And there's no doubt, I mean, read his article this morning, that Will Greenwood will have enjoyed seeing Ashton in full cry again. Will. JJ Hanrahan has come on for George Casey. More realignment in that Northampton side. Ben Nutley's back on after his head injury assessment. He's tough, is young Nutley.
I
The
don't
game
think it's
swung
deliberate.
away from Nutley in the time he was having that head injury
But
assessment.
not you. So reset for Black. Thank you.
Big problem now for Northampton, chasing this game, 19-13 down. One area where the game has got away from them has been the scrum. In the second half, as the minutes have marched on, Saracens have looked more and more dominant. They've been, I think, the best English scrum in the Premiership this season, and they're now turning the screw when it matters in Europe.
But why you don't find the space?
That's exactly what Alex Corbisiero was talking about. Taking that space.
Quiet day, Mako Vunipola, so good through the pool stages.
Crush! Here we go.
I think Saracens would be very happy to buy a penalty here and get a 9-point lead.
Vunipola. Neil de Kock. Ashton was on the hunt again. Scott Brits. He's been involved in all the run of recent quarterfinals for Saracens, 5 of them. Farrell's going for the extra 3. Knows it's too close for comfort at the moment, but also knows, and it's a comfort to him, that the penalty was there too.
That's what they wanted, Miles.
An offside player here.
Nothing frilly, nothing too pretty. Squeeze a scrum, get the penalty, take 3 more points, close it down. Owen Farrell has been immaculate. One of the big differences between these teams in a tight game has been not just the scrum itself, but the fact Farrell hasn't looked like missing thus far, and Stephen Myler has. This will just about be the game, I think, should Farrell kick it.
The league meetings between these two this season, both to the away side. This goes over. Home rule could be established here by Saracens. Farrell's kick. And the road to Lyon has just got a bit shorter.
Well, you can't be at your best all the time, and when you're not at your best, if your goal kicker can do that under the pressure Farrell's been under because his team haven't been flowing, that gets you through these difficult afternoons. And Owen Farrell might just have seen his boys through it. The scrum has helped them, but that boot has been immaculate.
Itoje as they go for the final nail. Farrell round from Barrett, that was lovely. On to Good. Alex Good inside, but it falls to Malander as Northampton try and keep themselves alive, but Farrell's across and the flag is up. Terrific commitment.
Terrific play there from Northampton in the first place. Itoje was unleashed then. Such a great athlete, and then Good started weaving his spells out wide. Look at that, the ball deflects, a hand off there. Harrison for once loses a one-on-one physical contact, and now you see the Saracens backs playing. Barrett's little offload ball is a beauty to Farrell, and Good loves that ball on the outside, and then the inside scissor pass. Couldn't quite get it away as Northampton come back. They have not stopped playing though, the Saints.
Michael Patterson back on, this time for James Craig. And Itoje. It's been Saracens' second half, no doubt about that. Just as it was Northampton's first. And they look as if they're going to be left to rue the missed point-scoring moments when they came along. De Kock to Ashton, to Farrell, Good, stays calm. Elliott down in that corner where he missed that chance in the first half. Here's Matfield. Northampton have to keep going for it. And Myler, who's taken over as captain, the absence of yet another injured player. Oh, Wiles, that's it. The injuries at the end did take their toll. Saracens have turned this one around, found their form again, and it will be Saracens against Wasps in the semi-final.
Well, pressure tells in the end, and Northampton, a lot of players missing. They have given their all. Yes, they beat Saracens here in the Premiership, but Saracens had their core of England Grand Slammers absent. With those men back, it was expected to be different. For 65 minutes or so, they were given one heck of a fight. And in the end, Northampton forced to play the game, going for it from deep, nothing to lose. The big hit comes from Taylor. Wiles sniffs it, that's the game.
And that's 2 more points. And we talked about how Saracens have racked up at least 30 points here in their pool games. Well, they're almost there again to that mark. Scoreline that probably flatters them over the whole of the match.
Number 2.
But as Brad Barrett comes off, the skipper knows the job is done.
No. No, wait.
Jared Saunders is also coming on for Sculpt Brits. See Ben Ransom stripped off and ready to come on too.
I don't think this score tells the true tale of the match, Miles. It's harsh on Northampton. Well, time for the European Champions Cup man of the match, and it could easily have gone to either of the back row forwards. Harrison superb. Ben Nutley, for a debut, had a quite seasonal debut, had an astonishing game today. But with Saracens pulling away, I'm going for someone from the winning team, someone who's going to the semi-final. And while the malaise spread around the team throughout, that guy always played well. He was ever a threat in the line-out. He's come into it physically. He's led by example. Maro Itoje, my European Champions Cup man of the match.
Marcelo Bosch also on for the Saracens. There he is. Richard Barrington and Saunders into the front row. Bosch into the backs. The man who kicked the winning penalty in the quarter-final in Paris dramatically last season. Well, it's not got to that point today. For a long time, it seems as if it might go to the final play. Not the case. Northampton's brave effort and their competition about to come to an end, but Kempisi, he keeps on going. Kessel. Here's Malander. Lovely offload. And Maafu. Oh, he's covering the ground there. Is Kempisi Maafu. Marshall is on at hooker as well. There is Reece Marshall, 21 years of age. And not bad service either. Here's Courtney Laws. Defiant to the last, Northampton. Just haven't been able to get into these areas often enough in the second half. And when they have, not really left with anything of note. Just the 3 points since the interval. For Saracens, it's been 23 in this second half. Malander, nice step. Kempisi.
Those tackles have hit harder, haven't they, as this game has gone on.
Becomes a big game for Northampton next week against Leicester. When, isn't it? East Midlands rivals, but of course with the Premiership and that top 4 place right on a knife edge. That's where they will have to concentrate now. For Saracens, it's still two fronts. Northampton, as we say, bravely still on the attack.
And Saracens, of course, can rest up a little bit next week before the European game.
Harrison looking to crown off a terrific individual display. There was Patterson. Kessel to PC, out it goes, and Courtney Laws puts it down, and who can deny Northampton that? That's a nice response from Chris Ashton. He knows how hard the Saints, his former club, have worked today, and they have pushed Saracens all the way. I mean, there is no such thing in professional sport as a consolation. They'll be hurting tonight, Northampton, but you know, as a neutral, you have to say that is a fine, fine effort.
And how fitting. Harrison makes the dart, Laws finishes it. If Nutley had been there, it would have been perfect from a Northampton perspective. Their back row has been fantastic. Their scrum struggled. They were slightly overpowered. A man down here and there. Saracens' experience came to the fore. They deserve the win. Saracens know they will have to be better. Northampton know they could prepare themselves for Leicester with some pride after this effort. Saracens go through, but Northampton go down, but unbowed.
Unable to extend their excellent record here to another win. Myler, rather ironically, finishes with a beauty and 2 more points. But it's Saracens who end with a win in the semi-final place. They have looked ready for the big European step up all season. Well, they didn't this evening in the first half, anything but. But that, in a large part, was down to Northampton and the way the underdogs, with all their injury problems, attacked Saracens in that first period. But the question was asked at half-time, and Saracens came up with the appropriate answer, and they are now 1 game away from the final itself, and they have some major highlights to look forward to both at home and in Europe still this season. For Northampton, it's just domestic now.
Wasps versus Saracens, what a game that is going to be. Wasps themselves back from the brink. It wasn't half-time with the Wasps, it was 79 minutes and 59 seconds. A great kick from Gopper sets them up for a showdown with Saracens. I think there'll be a lot more to it. The boots of Gopper against Farrell. Saracens will need to be better. Wasps are getting and gathering as a force. It promises to be one heck of an all-English European semi-final.
They've had some epic cup clashes, these two, in recent years. This one goes Saracens' way. We said at the start, they just won't let us down, and these two clubs have delivered once more. Fascinating quarter-final, but in the end the Saracens' power came through.